Hey fire signs, this one's for you. Gonna be doing an energy reading for this week, so if you're curious what might be going on, stick around. We're about to get into it. All right, so I do have a little bit of astrology to talk about first, just something quick. So yeah, the major transit is Chiron entering Taurus, and so this is going to be a big shift that changes collective focus away from past conflicts and survival, moving towards nervous system healing, self-worth, and finding stability, which sounds really fucking nice right now, honestly. The moon, we just had a new moon in Gemini yesterday. It is transiting into Cancer right now. And there's also some things going on with Venus as well that I thought was interesting. Venus is in Leo, and it's making aspects towards Uranus and Neptune, inspiring creativity and unexpected blessings. However, Venus is also in opposition to Pluto, gently challenging us to release relationships or passions that no longer align with our authentic hearts. So yeah, there's a lot going on right now, and you might be having some really emotional conversations. A lot of them might be focused on relationships or reestablishing connections, maybe trying to figure out something that works better. Because, you know, sometimes you got to fuck around and find out, but it looks like, you know, we're making kind of a lot of edits to what we've been working towards. So yeah, let's get into this and see what archetype you guys are in right now. I don't like when it's too many. I like it to be one. For this one at least. There we go. The Chiromancer, delivering news, collaboration. Okay, let's see what this one's about. I've only gotten this one once, so I can't really remember exactly what it talked about. But let's see. You have a message to deliver or something that you've been meaning to say for a while, but it may not be a message that someone is ready to receive. Be careful about how you deliver it and choose your timing carefully. The outcome may depend entirely on you. Okay, a little bit of pressure there, but that's okay. There might be something that's weighing on your heart that's needing to come out. And with what I just talked about, that's definitely on par for the energy right now. So what it seems like is that I think you might be missing your window here, or maybe you need to make sure that you're not missing the window, or you've already talked about this and we're about to go over that. So let's see what's been going on with some traditional tarot. And you're welcome to skip ahead if you don't care about the cards coming out. Wow, that's actually, dude, okay. So I was gonna pull this because I saw it and then I was like, no. And then I was like, it was sticking with me. So I was like, okay, I gotta pull that. And then I saw the Fool flip in the deck. So I was like, okay, I wanna pull that. I was not expecting the Wheel of Fortune as well. So this is actually crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Wow, let's keep it going. Whoa, is that the moon? Shut up. And the Emperor's at the bottom. Wow. And the 10 with the, oh my gosh. Okay, this is kind of crazy. Okay, I've never had it get back over here. I'm running out of room. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to pick these cards. Oh my, okay, I gotta chill. What the fuck? Where do I put this? I need a bigger table. Okay, let me fix all this shit. Okay. So we're starting with the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is all about the past, you know, nostalgia, reminiscing, you know, just, you know, like imagine when you were a kid and you're having, like, imagine this card as like a memory, right, of this moment. And, you know, maybe you were going through a lot as a kid, but you look back and you reminisce on it as like this beautiful light. I don't know. There's just this energy of, you know, you've been through a lot in your life. And I really feel like there's this severing from the past, but in a good way. It's almost like we're no longer carrying the baggage of what the past used to be or used to feel like. We're not carrying what we went through in the past on our shoulders anymore, and anything that we're keeping around is memories of light. I don't know why the white flowers are really shining out, and sometimes this card can be kind of negative, but I'm not seeing it as that. I'm just seeing it kind of like reminiscent. I don't know. There's just this energy of going through a major transformation. I just feel like this is kind of like the journey of your life up until now. And also, I do feel like this is you entering a completely new era than the one you're stepping out of. And, you know, with Judgment and the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune coming all out at once, it's just kind of like, or at least showing itself the way that it did when I was pulling. It's just really screaming that now is the time to let everything go and put everything on the table. And if you want to start this cycle out in a open, free, positive, balanced way, everything weighing heavy on your heart from your past needs to be out in the open. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be dealt with. Now is not the time to push anything to the depths of you. Now is the time to lay everything out on the table. In the same way, it turned into chaos over here. It's like I'm running out of room with how much I've had to, you know, bring out, you know, but the reading calls for it, right? So it's like the energy is calling for you to just lay everything out on the table and see what happens. And it looks like you're gonna really like what happens. I'm seeing like you enter such a balanced time where you and the universe are really in this beautiful give and take with each other, and you entering a place of harmony where you are feeling amazing about where you're at and where you're going, and not even worrying too much about what's next because you're busy being in the present, you know, being with nature and enjoying collaboration and union, you know, with these people. I just feel like on your own and with others, there's just this deeper connection that is going to be happening because of this time that we're in. I don't know. And it's interesting because I was doing a lot of research on the yugas, the 4 yugas. So if you've never heard of that, maybe look it up if you're interested. But basically, we're nearing the end of the dark age, of the iron age, which is the bottom of the cycle. You know, we've been in this loop of suffering, and we are at the end of the darkest it can get, which makes a lot of sense for what we're going through altogether. But I really feel like it's not just happening outside of us, it's happening within us too. And I think it's time to let go of all the suffering and realize that we don't need it. We're carrying it for kind of no reason and hurting ourselves further. And I feel like people are really opening up to being more conscious about life and about connection. So this is a huge fucking transformation. I cannot express this lightly. Like, it is so deep. This is deep to your core and even deep to the earth's core. Like I said last week too, I don't remember if I said this in the collective message or what, but I just feel like all of my messages are getting to the point where they feel just collective. I feel like I'm talking to more than just the fire signs, you know? And it boils down to every sign. Like, the fire sign is just your sun sign, right? I think that we all have multiple different elements in our chart. You know, I have a lot of fire, even though there's no fire in my main 3. And I think it's important to maybe watch more than just your sun sign. So if your rising is Aquarius, go check out the air sign readings too, because there's a lot to be said about what your rising sign is. So maybe be open to looking at that and maybe figure out what your moon sign is and see what's going on with you emotionally. And you know what I mean? And if you want more information on that, you're welcome to reach out. I can get your chart and tell you exactly like which readings would be good for you or whatever. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up. But everybody is going through a huge transformation right now. And in the fire sign area, it seems to be relationship wise and emotionally, you know, and yeah, definitely a tough one. But I really feel like once you hit this point where you feel amazing, you're starting to see all this harmony and union come together, you're going to get really motivated about this new pathway that you're stepping onto. What did I say? Emotionally, that you're going through a huge emotional transformation right now. You've stepped up to this next level and it's time to see what resides there. But I definitely feel like you have plenty of confidence and you're feeling really good about your authority and what you want and how to communicate what you need. And yeah, with Justice card coming in, you're just going to see a lot of rewards if you go about this in a very pure way. So definitely continue staying balanced and holding that strength within you, and you'll be good, because there's a lot of opportunities coming through and to show you about all that you've learned in this time and how, you know, you really fought your way through this and learned as much as you could, and now you're ending a very tough growing cycle. You're growing and learning and becoming your most authentic self. And that's really all that this life is about. It's not about what you can gain materially. It's about who you can become mentally, right? And how you can express yourself. How can you express your authentic self? I feel like that's what's being worked on. And yeah, you're just trying to find out what you want. How do you want to feel in this life? Where do you want to go? Who are you? How can you find yourself in these different archetypes and different situations? And I feel like making a choice is a big thing that's been showing up for me lately, like a big like sign of making sure that you're making decisions. Because I also just read something after I was doing some research about the yugas of like, humans forgot that they had a choice of what to focus on. And I feel like we felt so hopeless or not hopeless, but what's the word? Helpless. Like, I feel like we've just been kind of like, oh, we don't have any control of anything, and our egos trying to take control in the wrong way. It's kind of like we have control over ourselves and our choices, but we don't have control over other people's selves and their choices, or where, you know, our systems are going, you know, things like that. So it's like, I feel like it starts with us. It starts with those base layers of making sure that all of your choices are for your highest growth, and understanding that if you fall, you can rebalance it later, and not getting trapped in that cycle of suffering, of shame and whatever. I don't know. There's a lot coming through, so it's kind of hard for me to stay focused. But yeah, I definitely feel like you're gaining a different perspective on maybe your past pains and past hurt, because that's what's needed to move on and grow, is letting go of the pain and suffering and accepting what has happened to you and what you did in the face of that, and just accepting the situations and moving on from them. It's as simple as that. But I feel like as humans, we hold on to so much that it weighs us down and clouds us completely. So take this time to reframe all of your past and understand that it was the best thing that could have happened to you. It's kind of like being thankful for all of those things that happened to you, and understanding that it ain't that deep. If it's that deep, you're digging it that deep. You don't have to go to the depths like that. You don't have to. You can just kind of, things don't have to be as deep as you might make them, and you can make them as shallow or as deep as you want to. Basically, it's your choice. How you view things is your choice. You know, you trip and fall is like, you can view that as, oh, I'm such a stupid idiot, I tripped and fell. Or you can be like, yeah, I was being a little clumsy there. Oh well, I'm gonna move on from it. Boom. That's over. But you beating yourself up about falling, that's gonna leave a wound. You know, that's gonna leave Like, you're hurting yourself mentally when you didn't have to do that. You could have healed from the situation by saying, yeah, oh well, yeah, I fell. That's okay. So I don't know. It's like reframing things. I mean, that's a dumb analogy, but it's about reframing the past because you have a choice of how you're viewing this. Are you viewing this card as nostalgic, toxic reminiscing, or are you thinking like of the pure memories and like that are in your heart? I'm just seeing like this glow up, you know? It's like you're no longer receiving the handout, you're no longer giving, you're doing both. There's giving and receiving. Because the universe, it's just interesting. I stopped. The universe, I just picture them every time he gives out to them. The universe behind his back puts a little bit in the other side. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. Sorry. But this is what we're ending with. So this is what I saw in the deck. The moon was like in there somewhere. It was chaotic, but I saw all these cards. And I know that that means something. So, you know, you're finding your balance. You're finding your rhythm between the sun and the moon. And this is an archetype within you. This is your light side and your shadow side. And it's finding out how to live with those in harmony and allow one to rise when one falls and vice versa. And finding your emotional fulfillment in all of the things that you want, all of the things that you need. All of you being emotionally fulfilled by just being who you are. Everybody's trying to chase something outside of them. Everything is within you. People go to different cities to find out who they are. And it's like, you don't need to do that in order to find out who you are. You can do that anywhere that you are as long as you decide to step on the path. You know, your environment doesn't mean as much as you might think in terms of luxury or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get used to that stuff. You get used to your environment. What you don't get used to is that cycle of suffering. There's a lot of love to be found here. Make sure that everything you're doing is out of a place of love and from your heart, because that's what's going to produce authentic, real, beautiful things. And let this tower crumble. Whatever is falling apart right now needs to. There's a huge ending. And sometimes things need to end so other things can start. Just like the sun needs to fall so the moon can rise. Let's get some... Oh yeah, can't forget, I found Empress on the bottom of the deck. So this is really embracing your feminine side. I feel like the feminine is the one that trusts their intuition and accepts and finds compassion. You know, that's kind of like the feminine archetype. So embrace this feminine era that we're moving into, because we've been dealing with a lot of fucked up patriarchy type shit. So it's time to shift and find our balance, right? And the intuition is directly connected to the moon. Decisions. Transformation. Wow. You decide whether you go through this transformation. I'm only telling you what you have the capacity to do. Just because you see this doesn't mean that it actually is going to happen. You have to actively choose to step into this energy. Answer the call. Wow, this is crazy. All right, so Two of Air. I just flipped right to the page. That's crazy. Stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. Time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There is no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for my highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state of mind. Yeah, so there might be a lot of decisions to be made. I know that you kind of have to decide how you're going to go about speaking up about this thing, and whether you have done that or not, and I think it's okay to take a step back sometimes. I think we think that we have to make a decision right here, right now, but nobody's putting that pressure on you. And it's just about seeing that just accepting the fact that you hold the power to make a decision, but also understanding that it's not that deep and that you can change shit at any time. Man, I've said it's not that deep multiple times. I haven't said that in a while. All right, transformation. I mean, that's basically exactly what it says. I'll get to the page, but I find it interesting that it's on 13. Change. Yep, and this is, where's the Tower card? Yeah, change. Nothing remains the same, and I need to accept that life evolves through cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Now is a time of transition as things are changing from one form to another. I need to allow this to happen for the highest good. I am called to let go of the old so I can welcome the new. Yeah, that's really all that this is about. And if you're struggling to let go of something, focus on it. Don't ignore it, because if you ignore it, that problem's going to stay there and you're going to get really good at ignoring it. And before you know it, it's going to be bothering you and it's so deep in the subconscious that you don't even know where it's at. And it's going to take a lot of work to find it. So don't let this fall to the depths. You have the control of whether you let it fall or you dive in after it and bring it back up, right? It's like that type of thing. So yeah, be careful with what you're ignoring right now, because you want to keep everything at the surface so it can be dealt with, not lost. 3 of Air. Silver linings, yup. Natural departures. Rejection is God's protection. A third party helps me see the truth of this situation. What is truly mine can never be withheld from me. Rejection is Spirit's protection. It's in my best interest to let go and allow for something better to take its place. It's in my highest good to see the truth regardless of my temporary discomfort. This too shall pass. So yeah, this might feel really fucking weird and uncomfortable for you, and you might feel like everything is falling apart and everything sucks and that you're going through a lot of pain. But I really feel like you need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture if that's your mindset, because there's a deep reestablishment going on. I don't know. I just keep getting like reestablishment, reigniting, I don't know. There's just a lot of like refining, realignment, that stuff is going on. And when that goes on, when we're in those periods of time and energy, it's intense and it feels like everything's being ripped away from you. But when I say that this is for you, not to you, I mean it. And that's what comes with the High Priestess, of like trusting that this is gonna be good and fruitful and positive. But if you're waiting for the shoe to drop, if you're focused on the negative, that's what's going to come. So be careful. With 10 of Air, this is a ending. This is ending's clear way for new beginnings. This is exactly what we're talking about. They're really highlighting the cycle of birth and death, right? And with the sun and the moon as that example as well. But they're calling you to make changes right now, and they're calling you to be open about whatever you need to be open about so that you can start your foot on the right track, as you walk into this next cycle. And the scales are balancing, so it's just interesting. I've never noticed how the scales are actually imbalanced on this card. And it's interesting because the side that I said that Spirit puts into, you've been putting in a lot. So you got to trust that these rewards are coming. let's get some Moonology messages. The energy is gaining momentum. Things are picking up, especially as we enter summer. You know, the summer solstice is on the 20th, so watch out for that as well. Communication is key. Wow, they're really telling you to speak up right now, fire signs. Expect powerful change. Your hard work is paying off. I told you. You are good enough. Stop doubting yourself. Anything that you think is impossible, your brain automatically filters it out of your experience. So if you reframe your brain to thinking anything is possible, like maybe make that an affirmation for yourself, but anything is literally possible. So, but you have to think that and believe that in order for your brain to experience that on a regular basis. In order for you to see the opportunities for anything to happen, you got to be open to that. It's kind of like when you open your brain up to synchronicities, you start to realize, oh my God, they're everywhere. It's the same thing. Go with the flow, definitely. Finding your flow, but in your own way. You know, notice how she's holding like a fiery phoenix. It's like, find your fiery flow. What works for you? Let go. Let go. Let it go. Stop thinking about the past. Dead ass. Unless it's bringing some type of knowledge. What does Erykah Badu say in that one song? She's like, remembering the past is good as long as you don't let it be the fear in you. Remembering is good as long as you don't let it be the fear in you. Re-energize your life. That's exactly what's happening. So be open to it. You need this. Clear, positive space, harmony. You have a lot of opportunity for harmony here. And that's exactly what is an opportunity. Whether you take it or not is up to you. Remember the collective message on Friday? I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's like, can you find the opportunity in the chaos? Was the Friday collective message. So if you don't see that, go check it out. But yeah, reconnect with Mother Earth. Go touch grass. Go be yourself and connect with the deepest core of you, which is the earth. Is where our DNA comes from. So, and remember who you are. Don't let false narratives of other people control you. This is about your life and what you create here. It has nothing to do with anybody else, and you owe nothing to nobody. So, man, this was an interesting one. I've had an interesting day, or interesting week energetically, honestly. It's been crazy, but I hope you guys are hanging in there. If you resonated with this, please let me know how in the comments. I would love to know what you guys are going through and experiencing in the energy, because we're all reflections of each other and going through something similarly, especially if you're in this collective. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. And if you're interested in more, you're welcome to check out my Patreon or send me an inquiry for a personal private reading. All of that information is down below in the description. So thank y'all. Have a good one. Bye.